Townley.
I think the last time.
And around goes the 35 of Mason Mingus.
Oh, great job by Gray Galding to miss Mingus. We talked about self-cleaning in the opening. That's an example of it. You just can't hardly keep that truck off the inside wall if you lose control. So you can see on the inside, Silas gets loose. We talked about aerodynamically how difficult it is to run the bottom. And Mason Mingus just was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, didn't do anything wrong here. Just got shoved up the racetrack out of where the rubber was.
And look, just that little bump, I think, is what really sent Mingus harder into the inside. Well, he might have had a chance of staying out of it had he not gotten hit.
But you talk about the self-cleaning, and that thing's headed towards the wall. He was going to hit the wall anyway, but maybe not with the.
A few weeks ago and tested with Tyler Reddick. Said he did a nice job here.
Yeah, he's matching.
Around goes the 63. So Justin Jennings is going to bring out our second caution.
I'm surprised they don't spin out more the way these boys drive so hard. I mean, really aggressive early in the going.
And Michael, remember, the sun's out now. These guys had overcast skies when they practiced.
Different conditions.
Taking another look at what happened.
Same down on the inside. Just ran out a little bit of room down there. Jimmy Weller squeezed him down just a touch.
Look at Jake Crum just barely getting by on the outside. We almost wiped out the 08 and the 07 in one swoop.
There was a little bit of contact too. You could see the rear bumper on the 07 as it went by. Tough break though for Justin Jennings.
A little bit of debris.
I think there was a mistake coming to pit road by Armand Quiroga. We got a crash on the front straightaway. Brendan Newberry hard.
9 of Brendan Newberry hard into the wall, and a lot of damage to the front of that truck. The 51 had already committed to pit
John
road.
West Townley
trying to get down to the inside. He's going to make a little bit of contact with John West, and it just turns his nose towards the inside of the racetrack, and there's no saving it right there, guys. See that hard hit. Rear wheels come off the ground.
Look at that safer barrier just eat that truck up.
At speed.
34. Yeah, I think right now a lot of these teams are saying,
And into the wall is
Matt
the 88 of
Crafton.
Matt Crafton. That's going to bring the caution out again. Big hit for Crafton. Running in the second spot. Right side of that truck destroyed.
That was only 20 laps after our last pit stop. Remember, this is a Thor Sport entry. Bob Dillner showed us the inside rim of the 13 truck, and I wonder if that could be the same issue here for this 88 truck.
Series.
man, you see Johnny Sauter's teammate go by.
But a hard hit there for Matt Crafton.
Look at those tracks. You saw where Johnny went by, where Matt's truck took off toward the top.
Look at right in the middle of your screen there, right at that circle. He's already on his way up to the outside wall. His last did not finish was 47 races ago.
Yeah, true iron.
Oh, trouble! And sideways goes the 20 of Greg Galding. He catches the 32 of Ben Rhodes.
Armand Quiroga got loose down there underneath these drivers.
Just dove in there and turned sideways and hit Galding, and that took him right up in front of Rhodes. That's really two solid runs. We talked about Galding's troubles, but he had soldiered on, as you said, Phil, and then Rhodes was in the top 10.
Yeah, you see these drivers, they get the worst of it. It wasn't their fault. They're going to have a busy night, though. They're going to actually be traveling back down south to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, to run the K&N race tomorrow night at Bowman Gray. But they were hoping to have a little better result today to
so unfortunate.
take with them. Yeah,
so unfortunate. Truck.
Armand, he's sideways before he even really gets down into the corner. Makes contact with Gray. Gray forces Ben Rhodes up into the outside wall. Armand Quiroga is going to emerge there with very minor damage, just a little bit of fender damage there, and he's probably going to get the free pass.
It's unfortunate for a couple of rookies that have done an amazing job. You watch this thing develop. We talked about how difficult it is to hold your own on the bottom, and Armand dives in.
Yeah, never really even had a shot at making that call.
No, he never got it to the bottom. You know, he just turned in a little bit late, and there was no way to keep from wrecking.
Yep, went right up and caught up with the 20 of Greg Galding, and Galding goes around and catches the 32 of Ben Rhodes.
Take a look at this as the reason for the caution. That 19 gets into the 57 of Norm Benning, and around he goes.
Wow. Tyler Reddick was running some really fast lap times, making some good time on the track, but he totally misjudged the closing rate he had on Benning and ran into the back of Norm.
Well, a couple of drivers did a nice job avoiding that. John West Townley and Justin Lofton both.
Check this out. He slides up the hill and almost spins out himself. Spins Norm around.
Look at John West go by on the inside.
There goes
Lofton on the
Lofton
outside.
on the outside.
Be interesting to see if there's any damage to that 19.
And the caution has come out. Now it's for the 19. We saw contact earlier with that truck.
Straight to us.
All
Left
three of
side
the
tires,
trucks that
real
were in
quick,
that skirmish off turn 4 have had problems. I think maybe that was a right front there for Reddick as well. Up on top of your screen, you can see right there, the right front goes down, the truck sparking off the road and into the outside wall.
Yeah, nothing a driver can do when that happens. You have really no control over it. But again, that was all precipitated by that contact between the 8 truck, the 35 truck, and the 19 all getting together.
Very good to see when the caution comes out here, the lights on the poles actually light up as well.
Lately with the 29 truck of Ryan Blaney. This is that contact that started all this.
Yeah, you can see Nemechek up into Mingus and then squeezes Reddick into the wall.
Well, he didn't make much contact with the outside wall, if at all.
And so 3 trucks involved.
Johnny Sauter in pre-race talking about how he was tight. It just wouldn't turn. I think that was pretty good evidence of it there. You saw.
Oh, and in the wall. The 63 of Justin Jennings.
Well, that yellow truck, John West Townley, did a nice job avoiding that 63. John had to go to the back of the pack for the start because of unapproved adjustments.
That was hard contact into the outside wall for Justin Jennings. Driving that number 63 truck. He probably got some help. I noticed another truck was right behind him. He was running in the night.
What's right side of your screen?
It's hard to tell. Maybe he just got
that other white truck. Maybe it made some contact with him.
He was trying to race under the black truck there just ahead. Oh, a little contact maybe got loose on the inside of the black truck as they raced off turn 4.
That's what it looked like. See if we can take a look from behind. We get another view of it. Already contact, possibly already. That's right. Mason Mingus that
looked like
11 before you dig.
This would be closing in on that 88. Oh, and into the wall goes the 07. So Ray Black Jr.
And he was on the lead lap. He was being shown in the 6th position. Tough break for him.
Caught a great break with not being on pit road yet, staying on the lead lap, and now that break out the window.
See him driving down on the outside of Cole Custer. Cole gets a little bit loose on the inside, makes contact with Black.
Oh, what a shame.
Sends him around. Could be some damage to the right front of that 00 of Cole Custer.
You can see Custer just gets loose on the bottom, runs into Black. Timothy Peters had to take evasive action there to keep from hitting Custer as he slowed down.
Down the backstretch, plenty of room here.
Yeah, Black is giving Custer plenty of room as they race. They didn't chase him down the hill. When he got to the corner, he just dove in there like he's supposed to, and Cole got loose. And look at Timothy. He was in the middle there.
Hit by Matt Crafton in turn number 4.
Wow, he had just grabbed the lead from John Hunter Nemechek, and it looked like he was driving away from those guys.
Very similar to how his truck looked at Dover.
Scared me to hit, so look at that.
Yeah,
just would not turn.
Had the look of a right front tire going down, and you know, we'd run a long ways here.
We haven't heard it. Gave Quiroga a chance to run by him. Is there a problem on the 8 truck?
Something's wrong with the 8.
I think the left rear tire.
There he goes. Around goes John Hunter Nemechek.
The left rear tire went down.
That was some of that intense racing between he and Quiroga. I think he finally got it up against him and cut his left rear. Not a lot of damage to that truck.
No, left rear or something's down.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
I saw the letters
Keep going.
wiped off it a couple laps ago.
Man,
I hate to see that. But I'm glad I can catch my breath. That racing was so intense. Such great action here in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
He feels that there's something wrong with that truck.
Yeah, there's definitely something wrong. He's a little bit slow there. He seized up Timothy Peters. And then you can see, when you get a look at it, you can see that left rear tire's down, Michael.
Yeah, and around he goes. but very minimal contact, so they get to pit road and get a tire on that thing. He can still get a top 10 finish.
Yeah. He never swung around and caught it with the front too, and that's a break.
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm racing.
Looks right along with him.
He just couldn't get any forward drive.
And look at the break that Armand Quiroga caught, because his teammate, Timothy Peters, was right behind Nemechek, and he couldn't get the run off the turn. Johnny Sauter, too, took advantage of the fact that John Hunter Nemechek couldn't get going off turn 2.
Jones has the lead as they come out of turn number 2. Little bobble for him, and around goes Eric Jones.
Quiroga turned Eric Jones around.
Caution comes out. The 51 had bobbled just as he was coming out of turn number 2, and I think Quiroga was still hard on the gas.
Wow, a lot of damage to Eric Jones' truck. I really think Bubba made a mistake restarting from the inside, guys.
Wow. And a wrecked truck for Eric Jones racing.
The guys behind him are gonna try to make a move on him.
It definitely wasn't intentional on Quiroga's part, I don't believe. I think he just was dead on the gas, and as soon as Eric Jones bobbled, check this angle out. Jones hard on the gas.
There's the bobble.
And up the track he went, but Quiroga had the option to get out of the gas a little bit there. Obviously, going for the lead, it's a lot different.
And he figures if he gets
in the 17 right.
Truck in the wall. John West Townley.
John West Townley, right side, hits the turn 1 wall.
He went up there with against. You can see Corey LaJoie is sideways just in front of John West Townley. I'm sure that was distracting to John West. I don't know if they made any contact, but Corey was about to have the same.
In front of Timothy Peters, but Timothy had some momentum. Is going to try to drive by on the outside.
And the caution comes out once again as we have a truck sliding right up to the start-finish line. That's the 99 of Brian Silas.
Yeah, Silas had a strong qualifying run up inside the top 20, but easy to have happen. Watch this thing just jump around.
It just jumps right into the 35 truck of Mason Mingus, then he turns it hard left to try to stay off Mason.
And through the grass he slides, keeps it straight.
See, down in the groove there, just gets away from him. And it's amazing how quick, with this relatively flat racetrack, how quick those trucks make their way to the outside wall. Not a lot of banking there to slow the speed down.
Oh, problem. Jeb Burton is in the wall in the Estes Toyota.
Got 13, got into the wall, coming through 3 and 4, and so that brings the caution out once again. It's the 5th caution of the night. Take another look and see what happens.
Looks like he just got sideways. He was racing with Taylor Malsom in the 32 truck.
And then had it saved, had it slide in the right direction, went the wrong way, right there.
They did a nice job of getting slowed down a little bit, because that truck could have really hit home.
So does this favor Brad Keselowski? Because he wasn't on pit road in the most recent caution. Now he's going to be able to come onto pit road and
be able to clear Hornet. Oh, no, he didn't. He got
into the wall.
Squeezed in the
17 of Timothy Peters. Didn't clear the 30 of Ron Hornaday, and both have damage.
That's a situation where I'm sure Timothy Peters said, you know, I'm almost clear. All he needed was just a little bit of break, and Ron didn't give it to him.
Oh, and around goes the 30. Timothy Peters not happy with the way he was being raced.
Coming to you here, clear low.
So the caution does come out now for the 3rd time.
Wow. Remember, we saw issues last year at the very top of the show with the 31 of James Busher getting into the 17 of Timothy Peters. Timothy showed his displeasure. After the race, they were running in 6th and 7th, Timothy Peters and Hornaday. Timothy just about cleared Hornaday through 3 and 4. They came off turn 4. Timothy moved up the racetrack. Hornaday just barely had his nose there, and it turned Timothy into the outside wall. And look at the damage on that Ream Chevrolet.
Well, both trucks are in jeopardy.
Close to him. Take another look at what happens.
See, Timothy Peters looked like he had him cleared for a moment. Then as he moved up the racetrack, Hornaday just barely had his nose there, and it turned Timothy into the outside wall.
It did look like the 17 had cleared the 30 as they were coming out, and right here you see it. He wasn't clear enough.
They went on around the racetrack, and Timothy Peters got into. That's almost at the start-finish line before the contact is made.
If Ron, I don't think Hornaday let off. I think he just thought he still had the track position and didn't want Timothy taking it away from him. And
they get together down the backstretch. That brings out the caution flag. So See the damage on both trucks. There's Timothy getting into Ron Hornaday. Timothy took his truck straight to the garage area as he came off of the racetrack.
Jeb Burton in the 13 Estes truck, and you can see the spin there on the back straightaway. Jeb saying, let's get this sorted out, fellas.
And there was a little contact with some trucks just in front of him.
Oh, trouble. Caution's going to come out right now.
The 12 goes around. That is Eric Cottle. And Eric,
left rear tire is gone on that truck.
Looked as though he was going to catch it, but back into the infield he goes. Caution comes out with 75 to go.
How about that horrible break for the 54 Bubba Wallace?
Yeah, he's going to be 2 laps down. He'll wave around for one of those laps, but
he's still going to find himself 1 lap down.
Yeah.
Just a bad break. It was a good strategy to try to get in, use those new tires a little bit longer than some of the other guys, but he got bit.
a couple of lap trucks making some contact on the front straightaway, and that contact cut down the left rear tire on Cottle's truck and around.
That's Brian Silas, who's having a great run here. He's on the inside of Cottle, and just that little bit of contact right there probably ripped the valve stem out of that tire.
And you could see the leader was right behind Silas. Silas is on the lead lap, running in the 12th spot. He was trying to make a forced play down to the inside of the lap truck of Cottle, made contact, spun him around, and Ryan Blaney was right on their tailgate.
That leaves us with just 12 trucks.